I feel like I haven't been here in a minute.
It's always like that.
But maybe it's just because I had a long day of fantasy football. Like, it just was not great.
You and me both.
Anyways,
let's get into soccer.
some bad news
Yeah.
outside of our fantasy teams.
Mm-hmm.
Hartford Athletic loses the guy whose name I can't pronounce.
Yeah, I wasn't sure when we were even going to end up talking about Hartford again. It came a lot sooner than I thought, to be honest.
Unfortunately.
And unfortunately, like you said, it's because Jaidi is leaving.
There you
And
go.
that's how you say it.
Well, never have
Now
to
you
learn
don't
it.
have to.
Never
Yeah.
have to learn it.
I don't know. We expected this, but just
Yeah.
not so soon.
I expected it next year, like after a full season.
Yeah,
Like, I figured he just wanted a whole season to really show and prove his tactics and that he can turn a team around. Turns out he probably got a job offer quicker than he expected, even maybe.
Yeah, I guess he's in his thing. I'm not sure if he mentioned a specific club. I kind of combed over it and just saw it said that he was leaving, and I was like,
Yep.
damn, that sucks. But I did see he's going to England. So I would assume, if that's not just where he's from, that he's probably coaching for some, definitely not a Prem team, but
No.
probably
Not a chance.
maybe a League One or a League Two team, which,
maybe even championship. Like,
yeah, it's
I could
possible.
see him getting a shot as a championship coach.
Yeah.
But
And yeah, that's probably all we,
yeah, I mean, sad to see him go. I would have preferred him to stay, obviously.
of course, yeah.
Obviously, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think it's the same situation that we had with Matrita. It's like, you are in another country, not being able to see your family for this long. Like, how much is that, worth it to, coach a lower league American side?
Yeah. It was a stepping stone for him, obviously. So
Yeah,
It's-
I feel like we always expected that.
it's not surprising. So one other thing we could talk about. So we tweeted about it. Was the USMNT finally has a game on the books. You good?
I felt a little high
High?
in the air.
Yeah. But the national team has a game. Like, they're gonna play again.
I'm not. I'm excited, but I'm not at the same time.
Oh, it's only Wales.
Only Wales.
It's only Wales, dude.
Like, they got some guys. They got Bale. He'll definitely play. They got Dan James.
Keep going.
I'm just saying they've
Keep
got
going.
speed.
They've got Bale and
Dan James
okay.
and
He's definitely at the level of
the
Bale,
other-
I would say.
well, Bale hasn't played in that long, so yeah, actually.
Potentially.
But the sad part is that Dan James is going to do the opposite of Bale, whereas Bale was a fullback who went to a winger.
Mm-hmm.
Dan James has to become a winger, or he doesn't have a career in football anymore. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, that's English football talk that is completely unrelated to our podcast. But what we said on Twitter, if anybody missed it, was that we're not like a national team podcast, but
But we're gonna
being
be.
Americans that love soccer, as
You're gonna get the content.
as there's times where we're recording an episode and games were played or there's notable news about Americans, we're gonna talk about it because it's what we like. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
expect to hear that.
just to let you guys know.
Yeah, expect to hear that. Our opinions on the national team and where we think it's going.
Yeah.
Depending on the election, we may not even have a ton of players, I feel, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. One thing that you definitely will never probably get on here is our political opinions.
Correct.
Because
Except when it affects our national
team.
soccer team.
Correct.
Which it seems like that will happen. But
anyways,
on to New York.
yeah, the last thing to talk about before we get into the Montreal game is the CONCACAF Champions League announced that they're aiming to resume matchups in December.
Right.
That's cool. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, like it's just good.
Like I was telling you, if we end up getting home games, it will be an advantage for us.
Yeah.
Because of obviously December, East Coast, it's going to be cold, so you can expect us to have that slight advantage. Whereas
I think
they're going to be coming in like freezing, obviously, because it's not it's completely different climates.
I was gonna ask, do you think Tigres has ever played in the snow ever in their lives? Can't be
Like not even even for fun, not even
Yeah,
sledding.
not
Like
even-
they've probably not even gone sledding before.
Yeah. So
They've never got a hot coffee in New York, walk down the street and literally felt your hand lighting on fire, and it feels good.
Yeah. So we look forward to that. Hopefully it's a snow game. That'd be kind of cool. Hopefully,
I don't think we'll do good in a snow game. I think we'll do good in a very brick cold game.
either way, whatever to throw them off their game. And I just thought, hopefully, maybe by December, fans will be allowed back, and we could potentially look into getting to that game. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Maybe the COVIDs will freeze in the air, and that will allow us to be in a stadium.
Yeah.
Because it can't spread if it's frozen.
That's true.
Big brain.
It might happen that way.
Big brain.
And speaking of COVID, and also speaking of the Montreal game, the lineup got weirder than we thought it would because Izzy got COVID and couldn't
I figured
start.
It was him.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, we don't know who it is," and I'm like, "It's probably Izzy."
Yeah, well, everybody did like the roster math on Twitter so quick. They were like, because we have like 4 injured players and our roster is thin, there's only one extra person that won't make the 18. So whoever it is has COVID. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it really only took the roster announcement to figure out it was him. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it was him too, as opposed not to say it would be better or worse if somebody or somebody didn't have COVID, but that's a tough loss to lose Izzy,
Yeah.
Especially
is it
down what we are.
Is it?
I don't know. We scored 3 goals.
No pun intended, but is it?
We scored 3 goals without him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's been playing with no legs lately, if you think about it. So I don't really think it was that much of a miss. Obviously, a full health, full strength Izzy is better than Medina, but he hasn't been that lately. So I really am not concerned.
Yeah, and we could talk about.
I would just prefer he be healthy for his own personal health.
Right.
But in terms of missing games, at the moment, it's like you can do without him.
Right. And I was going to say we can talk about Medina, who actually scored a goal this game.
Yeah.
Shockingly netted one of the sitters that fell to his feet.
Like I texted you,
shockingly.
He tried extremely hard to miss that. Like, he tried far too hard to miss that.
Couldn't figure out how to.
And his right foot just isn't made for soccer. I don't know what it's made for. Just not kicking balls.
Yeah.
Basically. It was nice to see him get the goal because obviously you want him playing confident. Mm-hmm. He didn't play horrible in that position because he was getting in the right positions. He was like getting on the end of balls, stuff like that. He's just so weak. Like he's not like Tati in the sense that Tati will body somebody up. He's not really good at turning away from that. Mm-hmm. But Tati will at least hold his own against a center back. Medina's just fallen.
No, he sort of comes from the same camp as James Sands in terms of strength, where it's like there's no meat on the bones, and
they got the same summer workout
plan. If you throw a body on him, you're going down.
He's going down.
And it's not a flop. I mean, they're putting you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one shot that he had. Even though the announcers thought it was a pass, which is tough to say.
Yeah.
that you like that shot, but I just like the confidence that he had to take it. Mm-hmm. And I think if we have to use him there for, more than once, it's at least doable.
Yeah. I think other than Medina, something else notable to look at was I think our defense played a lot better in this game. I'm not sure how much pedigree the Montreal attack is. Like,
that's another thing I wanted to say.
They were decent, and that kind of makes it easier to make your defense look good. But it looked good. It did look good.
Yeah, I mean that's so. The Medina performance was decent, and I thought Matarrita played far better than he did the last time we put him out on the wing. Mm-hmm. And then I was thinking, I was kind of thinking about this in the shower, getting ready for this. But I kind of thought about it, and it's like, it's a good win, and I hate to always do this, but we kind of have to realize who we're playing when we get these results.
Yeah.
Because we're not getting these results against Orlando's and those types of teams. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of have to, take that into account when you're thinking about this game. Yeah. It was a really good game. It was fun to watch. Tony the Roach gets his first goal.
Nobody calls him that.
I do now.
Nobody.
I call
Bro,
him that.
Gary M's, the Roach.
The Roach.
I can't even think of any other notable nicknames.
But
you've come
that's
up
his
with.
nickname now. He gets his
Okay.
first goal, and it's fun to watch. It's. I'm happy that at least the game was fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it was like the Blue Balls pod that tweeted it. They were like, just like we drew it up in training,
Yeah.
Tony
Yeah.
Roach has scored for our third goal.
They're like, as everyone thought
Yeah.
coming into this.
But like in all seriousness, that was his first goal.
Yeah,
I think
super cool.
ever for us and in the MLS. So
Yeah. Super
congrats to him.
It's weird to see him kind of being used because a lot of the knowledge from academy players that I get honestly is from FIFA, just from sinking endless hours into NYCFC career modes.
Yeah.
And then you see him listed as a left back, and now he's playing more of like an advanced center mid role almost. And it's weird to see that transition, but that's what Ronnie envisions him playing. So
Yeah, well, you always see him. I mean, it's been a couple of games now where he's usually the sub for Keaton.
yeah.
So we know Ronnie loves his Keaton.
Yeah, coming in. Well, he's been coming in and making an impact, which
Yeah,
is
definitely.
Which getting that goal today just caps off those other performances that he had. Like he's actually coming in and doing well.
It was deserved,
Yeah,
definitely.
Which,
yeah.
but at the same time, it's kind of weird because like we've talked about it multiple times about how deep our midfield is, and we've got somebody who's converted from left back playing in our midfield over some people that we paid money to play in the midfield,
Yeah.
which is kind of concerning.
It's a weird thing that we
It's
do
a
at
weird
this
thing.
club. It's something that happened with Medina for so long under Dome. Is like we kind of just had this DP wasting away just because our coach's preference just wasn't him. Which in the MLS with all these rules and financial different programs that they have going on with like CAM and GAM and TAM and all these different types of monies you can spend in these international spots and DP spots, you only get 3 of them. So you have to use them on good players. And then once you have the good player, you also have to play him so that your
Yep.
team can be good too.
Well, and so that he doesn't get mad that he was brought in and
Yeah.
brought to another country,
Or so you're not
just to sit on the bench.
wasting your investment either. I
You
mean,
know-
it's good business to get your DPs going.
Yeah, I'd say
That's the best business.
101.
Yeah.
If you buy something that's expensive, you would want to use it.
Yeah, and I'll say, I can't remember who tweeted it on Twitter, the place that you would tweet,
The tweet place.
the tweet place. They said, well, I think they were maybe a little upset that Rocha was put in instead of Acevedo.
The Roach.
Yeah, they were a little upset, and they were like, is Acevedo going to become what Medina was? Although, I mean, Acevedo, I don't believe he holds that DP designation. We definitely don't
I don't
pay
think
him
so, 'cause
enough to be a DP.
We have a free one now, obviously with Matrita.
Yeah.
But I think we had one before. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I don't think he's a DP. But I will say what I thought about that tweet was I think it's a little early to jump to something like that, or you saw Medina like get kind of shunned for a whole season. I mean, Acevedo recently joined the team considering everything going on. He's young too, and he's sort of learning the system. And there hasn't been many situations where you can validate putting him in over somebody else or somebody that's been, in our academy and then around the first team for as long as Rocha has.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to say about him is that he kind of came in and he was a little sloppy in his defending, and obviously he got incredibly unlucky with that handball
Yeah,
that
it was
gave away the
tough.
pen, which to his confidence, you don't know what that could have done to him mentally, to knock him off. And but it is to support whoever tweeted that. Like, it is kind of concerning that we had 3 left backs in a game.
Right.
You know what I mean? But granted, we still won and scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
But it's concerning when you look at that on paper and you say we had 3 left backs in a game.
Yeah.
That's concerning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it partially
That's Ronnie
comes. Yeah, but it also partially comes from Tati missing, Izzy missing, Chanot missing, Matrita now gone. like losing all of these pieces and then having somebody like Gary who definitely can't play a full 90 minutes in there. I mean, you're gonna have to fit player. You have to start 11 people. Like, you have to.
I don't remember who said it in the presser, but somebody was asking, if Matarrita out wide was something we're gonna see more often, and if you like the performance, if you'd keep it going. And Ryan was like, basically at the end of the day, we're doing whatever we can to get players on the field.
Yeah.
Because we do have kind of like an injury suspension crisis going on, and I didn't see that happening in the beginning of the year.
No. And one thing that we probably shouldn't forget to touch on, no matter how quick it is that Maxi's back.
Oh, he's back.
Got
Did
his
you see
goal?
that shot in the 4th minute?
Yeah.
Like, we missed that.
I will say the Montreal keeper, and I know he's not their first choice, but through the first half, if they had a keeper not as good as him in there, we could have been up 3-0 going into halftime. I mean, that dude saved a couple of rips from a couple of people. He played well. But.
Yeah. I'd still, again, you still have to look at it for who the opponent is. And once again, we could have scored so many more goals if we were just more clinical.
Yeah.
And that's something it's been happening all season long, where we're just not clinical. We're not finishing the chances we create, and it makes the team performances look worse because you're not capping off those goals that you create. Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's been the story of the season, is not capitalizing on opportunities.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think one time we saw a fully fit Héber.
No.
We never once saw like Tati and him link up.
Yeah.
With Maxi underneath. Like, we've never really seen our full lineup.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to talk about concerning Héber actually was on Wednesday we had the Toronto game, and way different personnel than the last time we played them. Then we did have Héber, and he actually was playing well, obviously not getting in the goals, but playing well because we stomped them in that knockout game, thankfully. But I think this game is going to be tougher than the team that we faced in the MLS is back.
For sure. I think they're definitely going to be coming in with a way better game plan, and they're going to game plan to take out our important players like we did to them.
Yeah.
Because, at that time when we played them, we could kind of neutralize Bradley, and there really wasn't anybody else that was that dangerous. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing that can happen with us and Maxi. So if they take Maxi out, we're done. Like, there's really no other. I mean, unless somebody really steps up, like if Gary, plays like he did last week against Toronto, then we have a real chance.
Yeah. And also not just are they going to be game planning for us different, but just in terms of like vibes, it's a way different team coming in here.
Weird.
So
they're going to be right up the street.
I was going to say, so in the MLS is back tournament, right? What are we, all 4 to 5 games deep in this tournament of a brand new season? Now they're coming into this game, the conference leaders off of I don't know how many games we've played now, 20 to 25
couple
of constant running form to get themselves to that conference position. So it's a tougher team. It's a big game.
They're healthy this time.
This was one of the last 4 that we predicted last week would be an L if any of them were going to be.
A tough one at the very least.
Yeah, at the very least, a tough one. Maybe we'll come in here with a little bit of confidence because we did last time we played them. I mean, that was the first game where we looked at Ronnie and we were like, maybe he can do something. Maybe he's a decent coach.
Well, because I'm confused now. Didn't we play Toronto and that's when Héber got injured? I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
We may have had a game before.
And we lost 1-0. And it was not only did Héber get injured, but I think that was Acevedo. Because Acevedo came on for Héber.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Pozuelo scored the pen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we did play them. So that kind of shakes.
Being in the presser, like pre. Oh my goodness.
After the Hartford game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. That was the first time we were in there too. That was tough.
Well, it's gonna be a tough game regardless. And you're right, it's right down at Rentschler. I
Yeah.
wish we could get in.
We should go over there and start chanting and banging a drum.
Yeah, what if we could maybe get outside and like greet the players to go? I don't know.
I'd assume not.
You don't think so?
I would assume they lock that down.
Well, if it's gonna be at like 8 p.m. and we're in Connecticut and it's the weather that it is, probably not worth the cold.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. I don't even like waking up anymore in the morning.
No.
The way that this cold is assaulting you.
Yeah, but aside from all that we just talked about, I think we've wrapped it up.
I think we're going to wrap it up. We're not going to ramble as much as we did last week.
No.
I'd say you probably saw a third of the episode. What you saw was a third of what we recorded.
Literally a third.
Because we were just, I don't even know if we were tired or what. We just kept talking and talking.
It was weird because you would think being tired, you'd be like, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here and go
But
to
we
bed.
just rambled. Like when we got into the editing room, I want to say the total footage was like 43 minutes.
Yep.
You guys got 17 of that. So you're welcome.
And there's parts of it where like, I'm happy you guys didn't see it.
Yeah.
Because like, we just sometimes forget that we're on camera.
Yeah.
Because we don't
Professionals.
do this. Like, we're not on the radio.
It's only episode 16.
Only. That's crazy to me to hear.
That is a lot though.
It's crazy to
Like
hear.
when I looked at our YouTube page and our first episode, it said like 2 months ago.
Rambling
I
again.
was like, for 2 months. Damn.
Rambling again. All right. Anyways, any hooser. Let's
Wrap her up.
Wrap her up. Post 90 podcast on all socials.
Yes.
Appreciate any single human being that watches this. Even if you're a robot, I appreciate you too.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. Exactly 1 week from today.
Probably.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah. See you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.